What's going on, music producers? Some of you have asked questions, very specific questions about how to provide more value in your email list so that you can ultimately do what you want to do, which is sell more beats. And we're going to talk about that right now.
Airbit.com.
Music producers, I got posed a question on Facebook, on the Airbit Facebook page, which you should definitely go like, by the way. But there was a David, and I don't want to butcher your name, but I believe it's Hobbit Music. We're just gonna call you David for right now, from Facebook. He said, basically, how do you provide more value through your email? I'm assuming this is providing value through your email for the sense or for the sake of selling more beats. Because I always tell producers, especially in consultations, especially on these videos, is that you gotta do more, a lot more than just say, hey, subject line, I got 4 new beats. Why? Because you're not the only producer that these rappers or singers are signed up to. And here's the issue with it is that if they're signed up to you and everybody else is saying the same thing, more than likely they're ignoring everybody at the same time. So what you have to do is you have to strike yourself, to be very, very different. You have to aggressively separate yourself from the herd of other producers who are saying the same thing. So when you start to think about ways that you can provide value, well, think about the ways that you actually are valuable. Aside from music producer is just one thing that you do. But I'm sure there's something that you have, whether it's a gift for gab, a gift for entertainment, a gift for spreading information, a gift for being a specialist about something in your particular field that appeals to rappers. Figure out what that is and share that. And what happens is you sort of use a technique that pulls them in and it becomes bait, so that they give your beats an opportunity. Before they want to reinvest money into you, before they want to even invest money into you, you gotta make them know what is the value of them investing with you over anybody else. And have you ever asked yourself that question? What is the value of working with you over anybody else? If you can't answer that question, you can't expect your customers to answer that question. So ways that I think that you can provide value: first and foremost, as a producer, as a businessman, as a producer-nor, as I like to call it, you must keep your eyes and ears to everything that's going on around you. Now, that doesn't mean you gotta listen to every song that comes out. I'm not saying that's unreasonable. But what I'm saying is there's certain developments and stories that are within the producer community or even within the hip-hop community that affect us all. You have an opportunity now to be sort of a bridge or even how can I put it? Pretty much a bridge between that information and people who maybe work 9 to 5s and they're not having access to the information. Maybe their network is not interested in it, but they are. You have an opportunity to literally be sort of a news broadcast to them. And what I mean by that is you literally can send out an email like I did one time, and it was one of my highest open click rates. Which, if you don't know, that's basically the amount of times or the percentage of emails that you send out that they actually open and start to read your email. You want to get that as high as possible. Well, the way that you're going to do that is not just by being, sort of clickbaity with your subject lines, which is definitely a part of it, but you want to make sure that you're providing value and that they know if I open up this email, I'm going to always get something valuable from it aside from just beats, because you have to provide more in 2018. You have to provide more. So one of the highest open click rate emails that I did was, the subject line was, is SoundCloud getting ready to shut down? Now, initially when you see that, you start to think to yourself, is SoundCloud shutting down? As a rapper, you think, is SoundCloud shutting down? And then second, you're like, oh my God, what if it is? And third, you're like, oh my God, I hope this email has more information about it because I didn't even know about that. Then they click in there. All you got to do is provide about 4 or 5 paragraphs, maybe even a hyperlink to an article that they can read in more detail. And then in the front of their mind, or at least in the back of their mind, it'll be, I got this. Well, first in the front of their mind, they'll say, I'm glad I got this information. In the back of their mind, they'll say, who provided that to me? Oh, that was Curtis King. You want to have a reputation for always being a person of value, always being a problem solver. You could even start making top 5 lists within your email. Imagine you said 5 reasons why rappers struggle to promote their music on Twitter. Subject line, throw it in there. Who would not want to have access to that email who was a rapper that is currently using social media? It's your prime opportunity to create something. You may think like, well, I'm a producer, Curtis. I'm not a blogger. I'm not a writer. You need to become more than a producer. In this day and age, when producer brands are becoming stronger and stronger and much more prevalent, you cannot afford to be the producer just behind the beat who hides inside of his home studio and never comes out and gets sunlight or never gets food. You can't be that reclusive anymore, because you will be quickly swallowed up by the producers who are willing to get in front of the camera, who are willing to speak up for the community, speak up for themselves and become leaders. And I think that can be you too as well, but you have to figure out ways that you can provide value. You may even say, the first 10, maybe you do graphic design. You say maybe the first 10 rappers that respond to me, I'll do one free lyric meme picture for you, just by replying back to this email. Here's the thing about it. When you do that, you start to build up a relationship, one. Two, you start to notify people of this extra service that you provide that maybe they didn't even know that you provide. And three, you start to embed it in their brains that I need to come to this person for something. They are a person of value. They solve problems. And it can even be another stream of revenue for you down the line. But you will never know until you take a chance on it, until you share something that's beyond just the reason why they met you. They met you on the basis of you being a producer. I understand that. That's cool, but you can provide value in so many different ways if you do multiple things. And if you're in a situation where you're just getting started and you think, well, what could I provide value with? You have knowledge by making your first beat that somebody does not have, who's never made any beat at all, that wants to get started. So maybe you're saying, you document your process and this is more, I've got to think of how to make this valuable to a rapper. A rapper who's starting off can benefit from seeing your sort of philosophy in how do you get to information and how do you weed through the stuff that's not good. Share that value with another rapper. Let them know, like, this is how I started making my beats and how I feel like it can help you start making, how I can start making, your songs. Even like having songwriting articles that you come across and saying these are, great ways to improve your song crafting. You have to become a fan of your customers in a sense. That doesn't mean you're checking out every song, but that means that you have to be such a, not even fan, but a friend. You just got to let them know, like, hey, did you see this? It's maybe an area of concern for you. I know a lot of you guys are putting your music out for streaming. Do you have it available on this particular streaming website? And you may ask, well, how's that valuable? Well, if you're making more money on this particular website, they may need to know about that. So you may want to do, an email that basically says, here's the money that you make from each streaming service. And then you just make that an email. That is tremendously more valuable than just beats. Beats is just a part of what you do. Your brand is you. Your brand is your reputation, is what you stand for. That is you, okay? That is forever, no matter which, if you decide to stop producing tomorrow, your brand should be strong enough to where it can branch off into something else because it is beyond just making beats. I always say your beats are literally just the soundtrack of the lifestyle that you represent. And so if that's just a background music or an accompaniment to the lifestyle, you need to share this lifestyle. It may be even a fact that you're into like fashion. Maybe you're into shoes or whatnot. I'm sure that you could attract or even offer value to a lot of rappers who maybe just saw you as a producer and you say, hey, I have a sneaker blog over here that you can go check out. Now they're having constant conversations with you. It may be even about sports or about shoes. And because you have that constant conversation, now that conversation will translate over to the opportunity that they have to speak with you about music. Now you're in the front of their brain instead of just being another thought in the back of their brain. So when you're offering value, just think of the things that you do that are uniquely yours, things that come easy to you but more difficult to others, and just include that in all your content. I think that you'll go a very long way having that mindset. Now these are a few of my examples. I think that the producer community that is out there, you should provide some very helpful ways that you think you can help our friend here, David, try to figure out ways to give more value. Leave that in the comments below. I would love to read that, and we would love to see more engagement within the comments. We encourage that. Once again, this is Curtis King of Airbit.com. Have a good one.
Airbit.com.
Music producers, don't forget to subscribe to the Airbit channel right now.